Welcome back. Now in this video, you're going to get started on your way to improving your income, and we're going to talk about passive income. In other words, income you don't want to work for. The whole problem with people is they get involved in investments and they don't know whether they're going to get lump sum or passive. So we're going to talk about passive investment that usually come from installment sales. So open up your mind now, and I'm going to show you how to make passive income in real estate in this episode. So in order to do that, we're going to do installment sales. That means we're going to get a down payment and then multiple payments, like once a month, for many years. All right, that's a way to finance properties. The banks have been doing that for hundreds of years in using mortgages. You can legally do the exact same thing. So if you'll follow the process I'm going to give you in this lesson, you're going to have financial security because you're going to be able to take very small investments and make a lot of money on it. So the banks make a lot of money. That's how they stay in business. All right, now this really works very, very well. I have former students that have purchased and then resold. They sold as many as 60. So they bought 60 properties, resold them, and now they're getting passive income. Now, if you were getting passive income from 60 properties, I want you to give that a little bit of thought. Maybe one's giving you 200, another giving you 400. You're going to be able to make a lot of money, but you have to be patient. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint, but it helps you and it helps the people that are buying. So 60 properties is a record for one of my students. Maybe you'll be the one to beat. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to talk about passive income, and I'll be right back to tell you more. Okay, now what's this lesson all about? How to make passive income on real estate. That's a subject that people, once they learn it, they fall in love with it because you're going to be able to make income. You're going to work once, and then you're going to have income for 5 years, 10 years, or as long as you want. So keep in mind, I can't give you everything I know on one short video. So I'll keep this as simple as possible so that you get it. Now, you might have to go through it a couple of times, but once you get it, you'll see that this system works. People have been doing it with mortgages for decades. Now we're just going to shorten the whole process and show you how to get big income and just have a small investment. All right, so keep in mind, this is pretty simple stuff, and I'm trying to keep it simple for the video. Now, I narrowcast what I did some time ago. My first career in real estate, I bought apartment houses, I bought single-family homes. Some of those were just single-family, some of them were 200 or 300 units, whatever. That business is a good business because you get appreciation, you get cash flow once the rents start to go up, and you have a good business long term, but you have to wait. It takes a long time. This is a business that you make money the day you buy. You make money the day you buy. So there's a lot of ways to make money the day you buy. Well, this one works so well because then you can sell at a low price and do installment sale and make a lot of money. So if you want to retire and have a steady income, you're going to love this. Now, who else uses this kind of process? So this program will show you how you could sell a business, how you could finance a motorhome, how you could finance a boat. People do that all the time. They're just using installment sales. Now, why do they do that? Well, people want to own great things right now. For example, maybe you want luxury items, like purses and telephones. Well, those are luxury items, actually. How about a Mercedes, like it's shown there? Those are luxury items. People don't have the cash, so they use installment sales. Nothing new about that. Now, today, a computer is almost a must to run your business. So you need a small payment to get started, then you make an installment sale. What if you could do the same thing on a property? Well, people do it with mortgages all the time. We're going to do it with a contract of sale. Now, this is easy to understand. All we're going to do is we're going to finance property just like you would if you bought that big camper, or if you put in a new swimming pool, or if you had a nice boat. Okay, so if you have a nice boat and you have to wait and pay cash, well, it takes you a long time. But you could have just bought it with a small down payment, and then it paid for it over time, and you could have been enjoying it. Most people want to enjoy it right now. They want all the luxury life today, so they're willing to make payments on it. All right, now those payments that you're making are passive income for somebody else. They're passive income for them. So now let's put you in the business of having your own passive income. In other words, you're going to sell with a down payment so you get as much as you can, and then you're going to get payments on it. Now, that's going to accelerate your sale very, very quickly. Now, these concepts are simple. They've been around for hundreds of years. As I say, I have students who have done as many as 60 purchases and resale. Now, you could do this on one or two properties and have enough passive income to last for the rest of your life. Now, I don't know if you want to do it on a 50-unit apartment property or a 300. That's where I started. I needed to get financed out of those. So we had to go to a lender, a commercial lender like a bank or a savings loan or something like that. You're going to be able to do this on just the local level, okay? So I started with single-family homes and apartments and so on. You're going to start with single-family homes that you're going to buy at auctions, okay? The whole key is you're going to buy, and then you're going to resell, and you're going to get cash flow. Now, if you didn't make any other note today, write that down, because that's what everybody wants. They want cash flow. Again, it's a marathon. You're not going to get rich by next Friday. It's a marathon, step-by-step process in regular real estate. However, in this kind of real estate, you're just going to make it a shorter marathon, that's for sure. You're not going to have to run as long because you can do financing for 5 years and 10 years instead of doing 30 years. Now, when I researched tax liens and deeds when I started, I saw the difference right away. Tax deeds were where I wanted to be, and that's what I recommend for you. Why? Because we can buy at a low price, and then we've got a margin to what the retail value is. Well, if I can buy for 10 or 20 cents on the dollar, and then I can sell it for 50 cents or 75 cents on the dollar, I've got a competitive advantage. I can sell when other people can't because everybody wants a bargain. However, I've still got a nice margin between when I bought it and the price that I'm selling it for now. So that's why I say buy low, sell low, and do it fast, because now you can do multiple deals in the course of a year. All right, this business requires very little management. Now, you're going to have to do some management. Yes, it's your money, so you're going to have to take care of it. But you don't have to have an office building full of employees. You don't have to travel to multiple states. You're going to be able to do this from basically your kitchen table or a spare bedroom. So kind of put that in the back of your mind. It's an easy business once you understand it. Are you going to be an expert by Friday? No, but at least I'm exposing you to it and you're finding out what you could be doing. All right, so what are you going to do with these properties? Well, you're going to be able to buy properties from auctioneers in all of the different states. You can buy it in all the states. Now, here's one word of caution. Each one of these states will have different rules. By that I mean, if you're going to sell things, well, you have to follow the law. So I'm not going to quote the law because I'm not an attorney, I'm not a broker, but you need to understand the concept that I'm teaching you works, but you want to find out what the law in that state is. Where would you find that? You can Google it if you want. You can find it on the county website. You can find it on the treasurer's website. The point is, you need to know a little bit about financing. Basically, all it says is don't discriminate. If someone is brown, yellow, green, or black, you can't discriminate against them. Everybody has to have the same rules. So just remember, just don't do any discrimination. All right, so I'm going to give you a couple of examples. Kind of follow along. Try to get it. If it doesn't come to you perfectly right away, you can come back and watch the video again. And once you do this, you're going to have a business that you can run for the rest of your life. So we're going to talk about a student. He really learned this, and he took off and did 60 properties. Imagine getting checks from 60 properties. Every time he sold with a down payment and installment sale. So that means every time he did a deal, he was getting monthly checks. He always used 10-year financing. Wow, can you imagine getting checks for 10 years? Well, you see the rewards here, and we'll get to that in just a minute. All right, now the tax collector, doesn't matter what state or what county that they're in, they're mandated by their legislature to, number one, levy the tax, collect the tax, and if they can't, they are going to confiscate the property. So the property you're buying is a tax deed auction. It's confiscated. So that means the government just wants to get rid of the darn thing. And when they want to get rid of it, they don't care about the price. They had an auction. They just want to get the back taxes. So when they have their auction taking place, if they get back taxes, wham, they're going to sell it. Now, if someone will pay more, they'll take more. But my point is, you can buy the property in many cases 10, 20, 30 cents on the dollar. If you buy for 30 cents on the dollar, you're 70% below the market. If you can't make money at that, you're probably never going to be able to make money. But the key is people don't know how to sell. So by learning how to do installment sales, you're going to be able to learn how to sell. All right, now why doesn't the government care about the price of these properties, and why don't they want to keep the property? They don't want the property. The treasurer doesn't want it. The treasurer's got enough property. They got parks, roads, schools, administration. So they don't want it. So they're going to sell it at a low price. So you buy it at 10 or 20 cents on the dollar. So your whole thing is this is the same property we looked at a minute ago. It had a tax assessed value of $80,000. And that's not the most money in the world, but you don't care. You want to get some nice payments, and you want to take care of your future. All right, so in this case, the treasurer's going to sell it 10, 20, 30 cents on the dollar. So now let me repeat what I said. The treasurer does not want these properties. They're mandated to sell them and get them back into the marketplace. So they'll sell for very close to the back taxes and maybe a few fees. So what do my clients do? They get a list of all the properties. Then once they find the properties, then they go cherry pick on the list. Do they want the ones on the left? Hell no. They don't want those. Don't buy junk. Yes, the one on the right that's coming up for auction. Well, you could probably sell that to your grandmother. It looks pretty clean and neat to me. But not every property is going to be that way. Most of them are used and abused. Okay, they haven't been painted. They haven't been cleaned up. Whatever. But cherry pick the ones that are best for you. And what are you going to do? You're going to try to take that property, buy it for a low price, and then have a lot of margin between there and where you're going to sell it. That way, you don't have to sell for retail. You can sell for under retail. So if you sell for under retail, is that competitive? Yes, you're selling for less, and you're going to offer installment sales. In other words, a down payment, small payments. Well, if you offer the installment sale, do they have to go to the bank? No way. Are they going to get refused at the bank? Well, they are if they got bad FICO scores, right? Think of all the people that don't have good scores. Those are your market, and there's thousands of those. All right, so these properties are a little bit used and abused. We can take these properties and not sell them for retail, sell them for less than that, and we can sell them with down payments so we get some of our money back, and then get monthly payments. So that's going to be a business. And can we do that? Well, let's take a look. So here's a property that we bought. We headed over to the auction wanted to buy, so they're going to sell it. It has $80,000 value. All right, the starting bid is $5,000. Well, if it's that good, I can tell you there's going to be other bidders. How many other bidders? I don't know, but there will be other bidders. So let's say that you didn't get it for the exact $5,000. You pay something over that. So let's say you paid $8,000. Well, that's not bad at all. Let's back up. $8,000 turns out to be 10 cents on the dollar. Well, that's the deal of a century. What's wrong with that? All right, now the key is, what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it? You only want to do one thing with these properties. You don't want to own them. If you have to fix them up, I get it. If you don't have to fix them up, you want to get them sold. So you sell by advertising. Where are you going to advertise? Well, what's wrong with Facebook Marketplace? What's wrong with Craigslist? Well, any media that you want to use. Get a realtor to help you sell it. Zillow, eBay. The whole point is you want to sell the property and let the world know about it. So here's a tax assessed value of $80,000, installment sale, low down payment. Do you think that's going to be attractive in the local newspaper or in a sign out front? Absolutely. So we're going to try and sell it. So we can put it on the market for any price we want. If we bought it at $8,000, we can put it on $9,000. We're not going to do that. We want to make a profit. Well, $80,000 property, I can tell you right now, if you can get under the market, everybody that's got poor credit, everybody that's got a poor FICO score, or everybody that just had a divorce, they probably need a house. So what kind of house are they going to look for? Well, they're going to look for something that's a bargain. All right, your property is tax assessed at $80,000. What if your sign said sale price $50,000, down payment $5,000, and you'll take payments? That has a huge appeal to everybody. So what have we done? If we can sell a property quickly, that's going to help us. If we get some cash, that's going to help us. And if we can get payments, I said, Ted, I don't know if I want payments. Well, let's wait and see how this works out. If you don't want payments, well, don't take them. But the point is, it's going to sell the property quickly. So now, what are these payments all going to come to? Well, if you had $650 a month and you do 10 years of financing, well, let's look at it. So read the slide. $650 a month is $7,800 a year. Is that good? Yeah, that's darn good. Plus the down payment. Well, if you're going to take installment payments for 10 years, I can tell you right now, you're going to bring in a ton of money. By that I mean you're going to bring in $78,000 and you only invested $8,000. 78. But wait a minute, Ted, what about the down payment? Well, add that to the 78 and you're going to get 83. So you're going to get $83,000 on an $8,000 investment. I would say that was pretty good. So look at the math. After all the installments are paid, you'll give the person the deed, the title to the property, and you will have made $75,000. Now, the whole reason for the lesson is to get the concepts. If you can get the concept, now you're going to be able to make money. You can do this again and again and again. Now, imagine getting $650 a month on 3 or 4 properties. Well, you could live on that. What if you did 10? You can do as many as you want. This is an abundant market. It's never going away. So the point is, we put up $8,000. We got $5,000 of it back, and then we got a contract that's going to pay us again and again and again. Okay, so I'm finished with this particular lesson. So I want to tell you about 2 mistakes. One mistake is people go to the auction and they buy properties they haven't seen. You don't want to do that because it could be a fire, could be a flood, could have been a hurricane that destroyed the property and you lose your money. All right, another thing people do is they get in bidding wars at the event and they don't have an exit strategy. If you don't know what you're going to sell it for, don't bid. So those are the 2 big mistakes. Now, right below me, I have a special gift for you. So you ought to go there and take advantage of that gift.